He was born in a palace yet destined for chaos. Nero Claudius Caesar, a boy whose life began in the shadow of power, surrounded by whispers of betrayal and the scent of blood. His mother, Agrippina, was as ambitious as she was ruthless. She believed her son was chosen by fate to rule Rome, and she would stop at nothing to make it happen. When Nero was only 16, the impossible happened. He became emperor of the greatest empire on earth. The people loved him. He was young, handsome, full of promise. The streets of Rome echoed with cheers of a new golden age. For a moment, it seemed destiny smiled on him. He promised peace, prosperity, and art. He even performed poetry for the crowds, seeking not just power, but love. But power, once tasted, poisons the soul. The mother who had lifted him up began to threaten his throne. Her voice grew louder than his. And so, the boy who once adored her became the emperor who ordered her death. Agrippina was murdered, stabbed in the darkness of her own home. Rome would never look at Nero the same again. The light in him began to fade. Then came the fire. The night of July 18th, 64 A.D., the city of Rome was engulfed in flames. For 6 days, fire devoured everything: homes, temples, history itself. No one knew how it started, but the whispers spread like smoke. Nero had done it. Some said he stood on a balcony, playing his lyre as the city burned, watching destruction with haunting calm. Whether true or not, the image became legend: the emperor who played while Rome burned. To silence the blame, Nero turned the fury of the people toward another target: the Christians. He accused them of starting the fire. Thousands were hunted, tortured, and executed. Some were burned alive to light the emperor's gardens. Rome watched in horror, but no one dared to speak. The artist had become the monster. Paranoia consumed him. He trusted no one, not his advisors, not his soldiers, not his friends. One by one, those closest to him were executed or forced to die by their own hand. Even his beloved wife met the same cruel fate. The once adored ruler had become a ghost haunting his own empire. But empires have long memories. The Senate conspired. The legions turned their backs. As rebellion rose, Nero fled, once the ruler of millions, now a fugitive in his own land. Alone, abandoned, he hid in the countryside. The empire he had inherited, the city he had built in marble, no longer wanted his name spoken. On a cold June morning in 68 AD, hearing the soldiers approach, Nero whispered, "What an artist dies in me." With trembling hands, he took his own life. The boy who had wanted to be loved died, hated, and alone. The empire that once celebrated his youth now buried his name in shame. But time is strange. History, like fire, consumes and renews. Today, Nero is remembered not only as a tyrant, but as a symbol of how beauty can be swallowed by madness, how love can turn to destruction when power becomes an obsession. He was not just an emperor, he was a reflection of human nature itself, ambitious, fragile, brilliant, and broken. Rome burned, but his story still burns through time. A warning, a tragedy, a mirror of every soul that rises too high, too fast, and forgets the ground that made them. And so, when we speak of Nero, we don't just speak of a man, we speak of the fire within us all, the fire that builds and the fire that destroys.